Hi guys. Okay, here I'm back to where I left last night. Sorry, I was a little bit tired last night when I finished this. It was 3:30 in the morning, and I was, I think, not thinking or not making much sense at that point. So, anyway, I realized this morning that I had made several mistakes. One of them is I made this texture map while I was at level subdivision 1, and that is the one that's the one map that you cannot export while the figure or the mesh is at its subdivision 1. You have to export it at the highest subdivision possible to get the best quality map. Another thing that I realized too is that I left this layer on recording, and sometimes that creates issues with the map, and it did. So I'm gonna turn it off right now, and just leave it like that. It would probably be a good idea to bake it, but I'm gonna leave it like that for now, and see if it works. Sometimes it may cause problems if you don't bake it. As a matter of fact, you know what? I'm just gonna bake it. It doesn't matter, just so we don't have to return to this. So again, we're gonna create an AK map. I'm not gonna do let's see, not adjust, create them. I'm not gonna do the grouped UV tiles. I'm gonna show you guys how to do this real quick. A readable map, and that's gonna be through UV Master. You can get really fancy with UV Master and put the seams where you want them, and all of that, but since this is just for us to get UVs laid out, I'm not going to worry about it. I just want some UVs and that's all. So usually if you wanted to put seams on it, you would have to work on a clone, and what that does, it creates a mesh version of it at the lowest subdivision. And through painting, enable control painting, you would get protect, attract, or erase. So let's do it real quick. Protect would be, and let's go to standard, and what this would do is you start putting where you want the seams. So you want to attract, you want to attract to where you want the seam. So let's say we want it right here on the back of the head. That's where we're going to put it. I just pulled out my, let's say we want it right there, and we want to create a seam right over here. Now, it's usually not a good idea to put seams on poles, so you can also erase right over here and attract. So let's not put anything on the poles. And that seems like it's gonna go on a pole. Let's do it right over here. I'm going to start it right in this area. And UV Master is by no means perfect. It's just a tool to help you get really quick UVs, but it's not something that I would actually use on production at all. It's not perfect, like I said, so you need perfection when you're laying UV. So that is a good seam right there, and let's just do that for now, and let's let ZBrush do the rest. I could actually go and put seams right here on the side and inside of the legs and all of that good stuff, but like I said, we just need this one as a real quick UV layout. than that, you can use a track from ambient occlusion, which it will put the seam right where it's darker, you know, where the ambient occlusion would be. But we're not going to do that, so we're done with that. Control painting, it's done. Oh, oh, it got erased. Let's see. Will I put it back on? Yeah, good. Okay. Now what we're just going to do is unwrap. And we can see the work in a second. Alright, so like good ZBrush, it crashed on me. Okay, but that also gave me an opportunity to actually do something that I probably do need to do. Because the ear is so intricate, this type of mapping will probably create a lot of stretching and distortion. So I'm probably better off just cutting off the ears, for example. So we'll create a cut right over here. And again, hopefully ZBrush will take into account what I'm doing. Sometimes it does what it wants to do, and that's a problem. Even when you tell it to go into these areas, it just does what it wants to do. So that's why I keep saying that this tool is it's okay. I wouldn't use it for professional UV laying out. Actually, you know what? Let me take that back right here. I'm gonna put this seam right there, right around like that. Again, this is not perfect by any stretch of the imagination. Okay. So that will unwrap it from there. And we obviously don't want it to unwrap anywhere on the face. So we can use Protect with a larger brush. In the areas we don't want ZBrush to actually put any seams, which obviously the face would be a bad place, in the front of the neck, any area where it's visible. So these areas we really do want to protect. And you would do this to the entire body. You know, just to get it, you know, where you want the seams perfectly done and all of that, and hopefully ZBrush will take that into consideration. So once that's done, let's hit a quick save right over here. Now we will tell it to unwrap, and hopefully it won't crash on us. Alright, so I've tried for around the last hour or so to get this to work, and it crashes every time. I don't know what the deal is. I've tried just about everything. It keeps me giving me errors, so I have to proceed here. But anyway, just so you guys know, the UV Master works well for whatever reason. I don't know why it's giving me problems again, but it usually doesn't have an issue. All you would have to do is hit unwrap, and it unwraps it. You copy the UVs and then you paste the UVs. That is simple as that, and then you just export your map. I have decided to create a packed UV tiles instead of the group UV tiles that I had before. this one seems to be a little bit better than what I had before, so I hope that they will work fine for me. So I will clone this texture, and I will export it. Actually, Actually, no, I'm not going to do it that way. I'm just going to do it through UV Master. I mean, through Multimap Exporter. And create all maps. And I'm in the correct one, yes. So, human, and create human character. Level 1, 0, 1. So 0, yeah, 0, 1 is good. And save. Okay, so here we have the pack UV tiles. They look a lot better than that last one. The last one was just looking all weird. But again, this is not readable by humans, so like that. Alright, so I'm gonna quit this and now come into Maya. And before I go any further than this, I already exported this, but I forgot that I need to re-export this mesh because I changed the UV tiling on it. So export the mesh, re-export it again. Create all maps, and that's just fine. Well, after much tinkering with this, I was finally able to get this correct and working. Frankly, I don't know what the problem was, but I couldn't even import them to Maya. They were giving me all sorts of issues, and textures were just looking horrible. But anyway, I'm sure you guys already know how to do import things. So basically, I just place the OBJ file on. I usually put it on the data. So let me show you how I do that. I usually put it on my data right over here, and this is the one that I just imported. I also put in source images, I put the actual texture. I obviously created a project for it and told Maya to set the project to human character. You can name it whatever you want, but that's how it goes. And then in Maya, I don't know if you guys done it before, but you import right over here, and you select your mesh, your OBJ mesh, and then through the hypershade, I have it mapped right here to my shelf, but it's usually right under Windows in rendering editors. And whoops, it's right there, this green one, hypershade. I selected a Lambert because I don't want any glossiness, and I just imported it right here, and I went to color and added, clicked on this, and that's where it gives me this node where you hit this folder and it will take you to a window where you're going to place your actual texture. But I'm sure you guys already know that, so just a reminder of how to do it. And all I did was just middle mouse button click, middle mouse click, and dragged it into the mesh, and that's that. So anyway, I also need to import the head that I already created. So I'm gonna go import, and as far as I know, I gotta go to my data and bring the head that I have retopologize, and I don't know why it's black, but let's change that, and let's give it a different head. Let's see, let's give it a different one. Let's create a blend for that. And let's select that. And as to selection. I'm going to hide this one for now. Control H. I don't know why this is giving me problems. Maybe because, yeah, they're reversed. The normals are reversed. So let's go to these tools. This is 2016 and they changed things quite a bit on it. So I'm gonna have to find where they are. I usually already have them mapped right over here. So I'm just gonna change that, just like that. And there seems to be a problem right over here. I'm going to select this edge. Select this edge. I selected this one, and delete edge. There you go. Okay. I'm going to save this. Okay. So now we are going to bring my outliner and bring the mesh that I turned off. Shift H brings it back. I'm going to put these ones on layers, so I'm going to grab my and I'm going to make a layer for it, and I'm going to okay, what is this right over here? Texture, this is new. Texture, that's how I get new to 2016. Alright, so now we have it as a reference, and for now I'm going to get another layer for this one. This one's going to be the head. Layer and save, and I'm gonna have it as reference also. Okay, so let me go back to my outliner, select this, and I'm gonna have to make this live. So create, where do they put it now? They've changed everything in 2016. Where's make live? Okay, make live. That's great. So now we can't touch it, and now we can actually use Quad Draw. So in our mesh tools, show modeling toolkit, and we're going to have Quad Draw right here. And again, this has changed quite a bit from the Quad Draw that I used to use in 2012, so I may have some issues trying to work with it, but I'll do my best to do good. So usually how you do this is you put a dot right there, right there, right there, and while you hover over the 4 dots, and while holding shift, you click on it, and it creates your new polygon. Okay, I am hoping that this is centered, so I'm going to hit 0. Yep, just like I thought, it's not centered. And that would be a problem if we want to create a mirror image of it. So one thing that we can do is either leave it like that and just work on just 1/2 and not worry about symmetry, or we can actually move this into an actual 0 position in the x-axis. For now, I think I'm just going to work how I was. Although no, you know what? Let's put this at 0. It's much better to do it that way. So 0 again, and let's position everything in 0. So I'm gonna go here. I'm gonna take this out of reference and get this guy to be out of live. I'm gonna close these two because I don't need them anymore, but I do need the outliner. And under display, modify, I need to get that out of make live. There you go. Okay, and I am going to choose, I'm going to delete this for now. Let's select this edge. And 4, so we can see what we're doing. And W. Where's W? It's probably all the way at the feet. Let's center the pivot. Okay, I'm going to bring it into this area. So by holding D and V, that'll put it right in the middle. And now I am going to hit X. I'm going to select this arrow, and I'm going to hit X. Yeah, X will be fine. And it brings it right in the middle. And now that's centered. And that's at 0.076. And I take that now just in case I needed to reposition it again if I'm going to import into ZBrush. I know this is a problem, but ZBrush, a lot of the times you set it to center and it's really not centered. It's like it's a little bit off from Maya. Why that is, I don't know. And it's happened to me many times. So I just learned how to deal with the differences and adapt. Again, W, and I'm going to hit D and X. D and V, I'm sorry. Now I'm going to put the manipulator there. And again, hit the red arrow for X. And while holding X, I just middle mouse button. And that centers the head. And that will do it. Now I'm gonna make this live. And I'll come right over here. I'm gonna do my layers, and I'm gonna stop the head layer. Actually, I'm just going to put it as a reference, and now I'm finally going to go into Quad Draw. Okay, so now we can see that the transform constraint is into live surface, so it's constrained to this Quad Draw, and we're going to put one right over here, another one right over here. Click, and with Shift, click in the middle. Now what I'm going to do, so I'm going to make sure these two vertices are on the 0 axis. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to use it. Actually, let me select this first with our object and our duplicate special options. I'm going to create an instance, and minus on this in the X scale and duplicate special, and that creates a duplicate. I'm going to put this guy on a layer so I don't disturb it. Go, and I'm going to put it as a reference. Now we can give these guys a different color. Now let's go to Hypershade so we can see what we're doing. I'm going to create another, let's see, another blend will be fine, or maybe another Lambert. Where's my new Lambert? Is this the one? Yeah. So I'm going to give it a color. Other than that, and maybe a blue. There you go. Let's close that. Oh, didn't take. Okay. And that's that. Let's close the Hypershade. And now we go back to this. I'm going to select it once again. Go to my modeling toolkits and go back into Quad Draw. So now the next, I'm going to put 2 more dots, and while holding Shift, it will create another one. Same thing over here. Creates another one. Like that. Now, you don't have to do them one by one. You can do rows of them. And that's what I do usually. Just go like that, like that, that, that. Just put a dot. And while holding Shift, you just drag, and that's how it creates new. Now don't forget to save. You guys are in 2015 and it's a little more stable. 2016, I've noticed it's very unstable and it will crash real easy. So I will continue to save and save and save, but you know, it's always good to save your work. And you might be thinking, where are those tiles going? And let's go to 4, and there they are. So it is creating them. Oh, by the way, for you to be able to see the texture live, you have to hit the number 6 key. Otherwise, it won't show to you. Now we go like that, like that, like that, like that, and like that. And that way we can see. Or you can actually do your see-through, or where do they put X-ray? They changed the icon, so it's difficult for me to see now what's happening. Okay, another one. If that happens, Control Z and make sure that it makes the quad that you want. This program tends to, you know, it's gonna guess where you want the next polygon to go, and sometimes it creates, you know, it makes mistakes. So you just have to Control C and just redo it again. I just put dot, 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 dot. Make sure that whatever is going to select green or highlights green, that's where it's going to go. The next polygon that it will make. There you go. So as you guys can see, this is a lot easier than the ZBrush method. And you can't do this with ZBrush, unfortunately. As cool as it is, it won't do that. And pretty much this is all of, you know, everything that that there is to it. Sometimes I like to create patches, big patches, all in one. I think I'm gonna put this one right over here. You can do this by doing this. I'm gonna do a big patch. Let's see. I'm gonna move this one right over here. By the way, that is you use. I'm using a pen right now, so but you can move it just by left clicking on it. You can create. Let me do this. I'm gonna put this one close, and I'm gonna create another one, and then shift. Now I'm gonna move this one in this direction, and I'm gonna get it close, and that's gonna snap to that corner. This one's gonna snap to this corner. I'm gonna move this one right over here, and I'm gonna move this one right here. Now, while holding Control, you can create subdivisions. So I'm gonna create one right over here in the middle of this, and I'm gonna create another one right over here. Now you can move things by just moving their vertices. You can move them by actually selecting the polygon and moving them like that. I'm going to create another subdivision right here. I'm going to bring this right up here, and it just snaps really nice. I'm going to create one right there, and that's going to snap right there. And I'm going to create one right over here, and it's going to snap right there. I'm going to bring this one here, and again snap there, and like that, and one more, and like that. So that's another way of doing working with Quad Draw if you want to make big patches. Usually works when you want to keep things even, and so I like doing that when I need to keep things very, very even. I'll move this guy right over here. I'm going to start, and it's going to create that. It works extremely well when you're trying to do hard surfacing and you need to keep very even spacing on the mesh that you're creating. I'm going to control this before this thing crashes on me. A lot of the controls in Quad Draw have changed. You used to be able to just delete things, but now they have this relax. You know, you used to be able to hit Shift, but now it's got this relax thing, which is probably cool, but it's not what's intended use. So actually, yeah, right here. So now it's Control Shift. They changed it. So if you want to delete things, if you want to delete edges or corners or anything like that, this is what you use, Control Shift. It used to be just Shift at that time, but now it's changed, and that's good. I think probably 2015 has it too, so try it out if you want to delete anything. The old Quad Draw didn't have the snap on, the magnetic snap that this one has. I'm going to reassess this line because I think it could do it better. Okay. I don't know if they fixed this in the current Quad Draw, but one of the things that it was a bad thing for the old one was that sometimes it would try to jump from here to one of the ones in the back, and that was really frustrating. But no, apparently so far it seems like it's working very well. And I'm glad for that, because that was one of the drawbacks that I had with quad draw, is that you had to fight the polygons in the background. See, one doesn't recognize that one. There you go. Let's see, does it try to... Oh, that's good. It's not trying to connect the ones with the front with the back. Hit this. Okay. And well, this is pretty much all there is to it. This will go quite fast with this program, I mean with this plugin. Now part of Maya, no longer a plugin. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this video, going to make it fast, and that way you guys can just see me doing this real quick. So here we go.